proceed on over to the docks here at Just Catamarans for our survey, our haul out, and our sea trial.
And the surveyor we've hired is supposed to be really good, and he is known for finding just about everything that's wrong with the boat. And that will help us with negotiations and let us know if we need to spend more money on this boat. And that's why my fingers are crossed, because I'm hoping not.
Yeah, we're looking for no big major issues, but we've also been told he doesn't like nitpick. He's not gonna show you
talk
like
about blinds that are bad or whatever.
Yeah,
he's just looking for things on the boat that
affect the performance, the function, the structure, the big major things, engines.
The things we need to know about. So keep your fingers crossed with us.
It's gonna be a lot of learning.
Yes. This is Brian, our surveyor. He showed up at 7:45 this morning, and by 7:50, he was already knee-deep in the starboard engine room.
That seems pretty good.
So have you ever had a boat before?
We have had not a sailboat.
This man obviously wastes no time.
Leaking starting here at the exhaust elbow. See right there? That's a weld there.
I see.
One of the most common pieces of advice we've gotten about buying a boat is get a good survey and be present for the survey. Now we're understanding why.
I like to look at bilges.
Brian is everywhere. Like a cat on the hunt for a mouse, he is sniffing out every hatch, compartment, and panel.
Nikki and I see this as a major learning opportunity. Brian has eagle eyes. He surveys hundreds of boats a year, and he can spot a problem or a potential problem a mile away.
So how does that rigging look?
Looks okay. Usually if you see cracking on these swaged fittings, you'd see it up near the top here. The top, and then sometimes down the side.
And that's your indicator you need to get that taken care of, right?
Yeah, but also just age.
All this, and it's only 10:30. We're getting hauled out!
On that thing!
The haul out is all about visual inspection and checking for any weak spots or big issues like delamination. As we were waiting for the boat to be hauled up, Brian sneaks over and whispers to us. I didn't want to say this in front of the brokers, or especially the seller, but this is a really good boat. Those words rang in our ears like a dinner bell.
And you're listening for hollow sound, right?
Yeah.
I could feel the anticipation once the tapping began.
That's all relatively what we expect to hear in a rudder.
Yeah. Now, I don't know much about delamination, but just mention the D word around these guys, and you get a reaction similar to getting kicked in the groin, which tells me delamination is not something we want to experience.
It's all good, Brian. That's dry. That's dry. So it seems good.
So the boat was hauled out. He tapped around looking for voids in the fiberglass, I guess.
Delamination.
Delamination, that's what it's called. And the boat seems pretty solid, so that's good news for everyone.
Yep. Next.
Amazing how much weight this thing can hold. And they're gonna bring it back in, drive it back down in the water, and then it's sea trial.
With no wind.
No wind.
A little bit of a leak. But I made it. Big girl.
Bye, thank you. Thank you.
The sea trial is just another portion of the survey to make sure everything is in good working order. It's about a 30-minute motor from the marina to the ocean. And it is amazing what all can happen in a half an hour on a boat. I don't know if you can hear me, but we're having a little problem with there's no water getting to the engine, because if they're water cooled, then it'll overheat. So we're trying to solve that problem right now.
On our sea trial.
On our sea trial. But because we sailed this down with John, we actually did have a problem, which we didn't tell you about because, you know, can't film everything. But anyway, we had an issue with the impeller, which we replaced, and so we're thinking there may be something going on with maybe a little piece of the impeller being stuck in one of the lines. So we'll find out. It's not going through.
This cover plate of the water pump could be worn, and that's bypassing, letting the pressure bypass.
That's the problem. It's grinding.
Well, no, because the impeller, this is the high pressure side
Yeah.
where it squashes the vanes down, and the pressure is able to bypass around through this groove.
Definitely one of the benefits of having a captain, a sailor, and a service, steeped in service guy be your broker. So we can troubleshoot this stuff.
Sales pitch.
Yeah, the sales pitch, he says.
At least that's what he told us when we hired him.
yeah.
We'll see after this.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, better work. Anything about Jason you want to tell us?
If I set it to GFCI, press the button, it trips it.
That's cool.
You can't rely on these test buttons on these things.
And
So what are we looking at here? Sorry.
The air conditioner pumps are non-self-priming. Okay. So theoretically they should be mounted below the water level, because then the water comes through the strainer up here and then straight out. This is correct. This is theoretically incorrect because air can get trapped in here.
the sails go up, they're visually inspected for wear, tear, and function. Then they go back down as we motor into port. We're only out sailing for about a half an hour.
Just doing a full rev.
Full rev?
We're flying a whole 8.7 knots. Not bad, really.
Slack off again because you're putting a huge weight. We're surfing.
Now we're surfing.
Yep.
Now over here, don't go too far to the side. There's rocks.
Parallel parking in this is just a little different. I got confidence, but not that much.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. I hope so.
I'm not ready for that yet. You'll see. Look what happens when we come in there.
Brian never missed a beat. No lunch break, no water cooler talk. This man is all business and wastes zero time, which is great for us. We learned a lot about the boat, along with what kind of upkeep and maintenance we're looking at as potential owners.
Now you see, that sounds okay there.
Yeah. Sounds deeper on it.
If you put your hand down, where you can feel the, here, put it down over here. Like, can you feel the amount of transmission you get into your hand?
Yeah.
Now put it down over here.
Oh yeah.
It transmits more sound or more percussion
Yeah.
through the glass when it's not as thick. But this is dry as a bone. I mean, it reads up to 999, and we're only reading 28. Yeah.
5 oil samples are taken, one from each engine, the transmission, and the generator. It's like a blood test that can give insight to the health history of these machines. The oil report can show signs of faulty combustion, bad fuel mixture, look for metals from decaying parts, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
How long since the transmission fluid's been changed?
It was changed in 4 years ago.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
Is it?
Yeah. I think there's a fuel leak in here, Jason.
Oh. That's the fuel filter, so it's leaking at the fuel filter?
Yeah.
It's 4 p.m. and Brian's finally heading out. He'll drop off the oil samples on his way home, and he tells us we'll hear from him in a couple days.
We'll see him.
Thank you very much.
Better say goodbye to everybody in here.
So what was our damage for today? Haul out, $717.89. Survey, $1,075. Oil samples, $250. Grand total, $2,400. $42.89. Ouch!
Seems like a lot of dough to spend on a potential purchase. But now that the day is over, it feels like money well spent.
Good luck with everything.
A good quality survey could potentially save us from buying a bad boat with a lot of hidden issues. And with a purchase of this magnitude, we want to go into it with our eyes wide open.
Long day. It was a successful day in some aspects because there's no major issues, no delaminations of the hull, no major
structural issues.
no engine issues. So there's no reason for us to remove or retract our offer, which is good news.
Yes.
But
But we still have to await the oil samples and the actual written survey before we can go any further.
24 hours for the oil samples, 48 to 72 hours for the survey to come back, and then we'll know exactly how much money we'll have to invest back into this vessel
Yeah.
before we can sail away.
For now, at least. So.
Sail away.
Yeah, if there's one thing that we've learned through this process, it's definitely that there's a whole lot. Hurry up and wait.
Speaking of,
Time to wait?
let's wait.
We shouldn't wait here, though.
Brian just sent us the oil sample report and the survey.
Yeah, and we had a chance to go over it with Kent, our broker, who is also a service guy, which is handy because we were able to put little estimated amounts next to each of the items, and all together it totaled up to about 20 grand worth of work if we did everything.
Fortunately, not everything has to be done right away, but the two biggest items are the standing rigging and the Genoa sail. Both are recommended to replace before we do any major ocean crossings or within the next 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, so we were thinking it's 20 grand worth of work, so if our counter offer is to split that with the current owner, that's a good place to start negotiations. So we're gonna ask for $10,000 off, and yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Thankfully, nothing was major, and the engine report came back nice, so that's really good. If you want to see those results and you want to see our survey, it'll be on our website. You can click over. Otherwise, in the meantime, I'm going to start looking for a broker for insurance, a documenter,
We have to
register the boat with the Coast Guard or in Delaware, we're not really sure yet, and
a name. We have to
name.
come up with a name for the boat. That is,
the pressure.
oh my gosh. Yeah, so I don't know.
Hopefully, our next video will be in the boat and talking about all this crazy random paperwork we had to do.
And moving on to the
Oh, yeah.
boat. So,
Exactly.
yeah, if all goes well, that's where we'll see you next time.
Should I have said ahoy? Arg?
No. Don't cheese it up
I could have done something there at the
No.
end, yeah?
No.
All right.
Ahoy, mateys! No, I think we might lose followers immediately.